Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast for the second double Euro 2020 watch-along between, obviously, you got Finland versus Belgium and Russia versus Denmark, all in one stream. We're watching it all together, both games at the same time. And unlike earlier, like I said in the previous stream, there's more at stake with these two games in terms of results. Even though Belgium have already qualified, they haven't won the group yet, so they need to get at least a point to confirm themselves as group winners. And also then you got the rest of the group. Finland are currently on 4 points in second, Russia on 3 points, Denmark have got nothing so far to show for their efforts, especially in that last game. And again, like I said, they played Belgium in the last game, they lost 2-1, they did not deserve to lose 2-1. So they've got out of all of them, Denmark have got a very, very outside chance of finishing third, in the sense of they not only have to beat Russia, they have to improve their goal difference. And there's a chance, don't get me wrong, there's a chance. I'm just saying it's going to be a lot of pressure. Maybe I don't know if they'll be able to cope with that or not. We'll see. Plus, with 3 points, there's no guarantee. Just with the 3 points alone, they're 4 in the bracket of one of the top 4 third-place teams for the next round, basically. So he's got a lot to do, but obviously there'll be a waiting game. But you know what? All they've got to do is to win tonight and hope for the best. If they can get a big win tonight, it gives them a slightly better chance. Guys saying hello to Vilva. Warren saying all better now as well. That's cool. That's good to know, mate. If you're around tomorrow, obviously, if you're around tomorrow evening, you're more than welcome to come on for the England-Scotland group deciding crap with myself, Andrew, and Colin. Oh dear. I mean, Finland, I really think you could say Finland have overperformed so far in this tournament, in the sense that in the position that they're in, being second in the group, where they've got Russia and obviously Denmark, that defend themselves second in the group. And a chance of this is their first attempt. This is their first major tournament in their entire history. So there's nothing really expected of them. They didn't play great, but they played good enough to get this far and be in this position. And you can only do what you do in the 90 minutes, basically. And so far, they've done good. This will be their first, because of what happened in the first game with Finland, with Denmark, and what happened there. Even though they won the game, you can't really say they got a real test today, because obviously the mindset of certain players was off. Somehow Eden Hazard's captain tonight for some reason. I don't get that. For Marlon starting as well. Martinez, a lot of changes a bit, because Eden Hazard never usually starts, but he's actually starting. And not exactly he's a captain. That's a bit weird. Don't see De Bruyne. I don't see De Bruyne there. I might have missed. There's a quick gaze over the stream over the screen there. I didn't exactly look at the entire team, just certain names and this, that, and the other. And I think now, yeah, as Warren says in the chat, Finland are in dreamland. And he does expect Warren does expect Belgium. I expect Belgium to win it as well. I think most of you. If people want to take Belgium serious for this tournament, Belgium have to win these sort of games. This will be the first, as I was about to say, this is the first real tournament starting. This is the first real test for Finland, really, in this tournament, because of everything that's happened. Obviously, otherwise it would have been the Denmark, then this. Because of what happened in the Denmark game, you can't really say that's a real proper test, because of everything that happened. But that's when nothing really bad happens tonight, and obviously they get their first proper test and see how they come away from it, basically. With De Bruyne starts, maybe Martinez has learned his lesson without playing Kevin. Belgium struggle, and we're off. There we go. Warren saying as well, Finland must avoid a heavy defeat. Even if that's the thing, because worst case for them, they finish third. They can't finish bottom of the group because Denmark ain't got any points, whereas Finland had 4. So worst case, they're on 4. They finish third and have to do a waiting game situation, see if they qualify or not. That's the worst case for them. Straight away, Denmark got in the attacking half, attacking third basically already. Done nothing with it, but still, then they lose it, and then Pukki's got it, and off we go. Oh, that bad touch in the end. Oh no, I'm gonna get some drink in a minute. So maybe it's I may disappear. Oh, Cheddar's betraying me now, is he? What's that? Is he betraying the channel now? Cheddar's, how could you? Oh dear. Warren's giving me score predictions as well. What's that? For the other game, Denmark, he thinks Denmark will win 3-1 against Russia. I hope they do. They don't deserve to go out with no points either. Taking out the equation what happened on match day 1, and they have played good football. And to be honest, they gave Belgium a fucking run for their money for the entire 90 minutes. So I better start working. So Hazard just bowled it there, okay. And he gave it away. He gave it away again. And he's gone for a Belgium 2-0 win. Okay. But I think Belgium will be 2-1 though. I don't see it. Depends what Belgium turns up tonight. If Finland actually decide to go for it, or they're going to decide to sit back for their 90 minutes and just protect what they have. Mine says also swap Dooku for Pepe. We'll see. Have faith. One, have faith. You gotta have faith. It does sometimes, again, it does seem that even though Finland are in a good position going to just kick off and all like this match, they are playing this with caution, basically. They're not exactly breaking their necks to get forward when they're on the ball. Fucking BBC, can you sort your fucking shit out, please? Why do you hate me? Oh, sorry. Yep, Tives in the chat. Big up, Dave. Hope you keep me well, my friend. Have you been allowed to finish? You actually been allowed to watch the game today? This one. After what you said earlier about when Holland scored the first goal. Fucking hell. Told me the morning. Attackers versus defenders tonight. Yeah, it does seem like. I know it's only like 5 minutes in, but it does seem like it's going to be that way. Oh my god, you're in. I might catch the second half. I'll try and stay in the chat for the first half. Yeah, no worries. That's cool. What are you up to then, anyway? Aside from being in chat and all that. I'm gonna go my way. I need to go and get a drink now. Mm-hmm. In Piccu's been held onto it, but okay. Literal manhandling comes to mind. You get myself drinks and I stop fucking yawning. So I may just be for 2 minutes if I do. And then oh my way. That's really to talk about so far, is it? Jesus. Oh my days. Sorry for the silence, but all that, but still. Got my arse all frustrated in that earlier, so I should talk about that at the moment. These games have been very slow paced so far. Oh, someone's down.
I'm pretty sure I have still got. Why do I keep something twice? It's a pretty bad habit. Do that a lot.
What was I asking for a link? I'll send you a link in a minute, mate. I'll get myself a drink first and I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link now, actually, so it's that. So, yeah, what's that? Bear with me. Oh, dear. I've got to go. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna go my way. Oh my days. There we go. Oh, piss it. Right, sent you a link, mate. Oh dear. Oh, Finland on the attack. It's been interesting. I'm to pass to everything when you can get to it in time. Look, Glenn Kamara. Okay, I didn't know. Yes, okay. We got Russ in the chat as well, and would have he's entered the stream. Hi. If you know, you know. You do realise, guys, you've all now confused the hell out of Warren there. And you're going to have to explain it to him while I go and get myself a drink in a minute when he joins the stream. Please stand up. Please stand up. I'm the some lady. I'm the real some lady. Please stand up. Please stand up. Thanks, guys. Got that right now. That song from nearly 20 odd years ago. Just bringing wine now before I get myself a drink. 1 second. There we go. All right, mate.
Evening.
How you
Better
doing?
recovered. Yeah, a lot better now. I was pretty poorly for a while, for a couple of days. But I'm all right now, mate. Yep. Yeah, just felt drained, you know.
Yeah, that. That's what I sort of had that in the second one. It's literally nothing major. It's just literally that the energy was zapped out of me.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt, mate. I was a little bit. It didn't really kick in till Saturday, and then it was like, ugh. And this morning I went to work thinking, like Greenie, and everybody in the chat. Yeah, once I got to work this morning and got stuck in and sort of forgot about it, it helped a little bit. Going up and down the stairs, I was out of breath a couple of times because I was just so weak. But yeah, I didn't realise how many times I go up and down the stairs in a day because normally think nothing of it. But obviously, I was absolutely shattered every time I did. But yeah, I'm all right, mate. I've been watching a couple of the streams. The only thing that kept me sane, really, because I was sort of drifting in and out of sleep most of the time. But that was very, very interesting what's happened over the last couple of days, I think. I think there's a lot of people out there, I don't know, you know, that don't know much about football. That don't know much about football because they can't if they're really supporting Southgate. I mean, I am utterly 100% convinced. I'm utterly convinced, mate, that if we play France or Germany, we're going out at this moment in time. I cannot see anything there that says we get past either of those two teams. No. I really, really can't, mate. We haven't really been. We're not going to create enough going forward, so we're going to invite pressure on us. The two times that we have played, we've come up against two sides that can't finish, and it's not like they haven't had chances against us. And I really do fear for it, mate. What are we going to do if we go 1-0 down? What do we do then?
Bury our heads in the sand, apparently. Oh dear! But Cheddar's the same. Obviously, France drew to Hungary. They did, and that's because they played a team that had a plan and stuck to it. Gave them hell. With all due respect, Southgate doesn't seem to have that mindset, shall we say?
Yeah, and let's face it. I thought France were wasteful. They should have been 2 or 3 up in the first 20 minutes. First of all, they were wasteful, and then they were pretty lackadaisical until they went behind. And then suddenly they woke up, and of course Hungary had belief. And here's my problem with England is we don't seem to have any belief. Therefore, if we go behind, and what we're doing then we're chucking on attacking players, asking them to change their mindset, which is going to disrupt your rhythm. And, you know, when you're defending, you're defending. When you're attacking, you know, you get into a certain mindset if you're doing that a lot. And I don't know. I mean, maybe he's playing cute because he wants to avoid, you know, playing France or Germany.
Well, Steve's just in the chat saying if Belgium wins, it means a Scotland win tomorrow. We go through. Best England can get is quarterfinal. That is especially with coach. He needs to leave us.
Yeah, he does. Do you know what, Steve? I'm going to turn around and say this, mate, and I know it's going to make me unpopular. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you break the historical. I hope Scotland break the historical trend that they have in major championships. And for me, Scotland get to this wonderful position where it's in their hands in most major tournaments with a game to go, and then they find amazing ways. It doesn't matter what it's bad luck, a wonder goal. You know, and all sorts of silly things that tend to happen. A mix-up between Hansen and somebody else, and New Zealand score an equal. You know, there's always something that comes along to screw Scotland up in that final game. And I was saying this the other day to Ryan. And lo and behold, Gilmore goes and catches COVID. You know, Scotland just seem to be either unlucky or blow it in the very last game. And I know it sounds awful, mate, but I'm feeling Croatia are going to play a different forward tomorrow. And I think it's going to be tougher than people think. Everybody thinks Scotland are a shoo-in. I don't. I think they're working.
I just think they've got a chance. They've got a chance. The way Croatia are playing, the way Scotland have played, and this, that,
Yes,
the other.
they are. Yes, yeah, they've definitely got a chance.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and this is where people are going to go mad at me, it's Scotland. They always find a way to screw it up. You know, always something happens. Well, I hope it's not the case. I'm not one of these Scottish haters. I actually love Scottish football. But, you know, I love, you know, I grew up watching people like Jimmy Johnson and people like that. And I hope Scotland do go through. The only time I ever got eggy with them was when they did that silly song, you know, England won't be going because they didn't qualify. And then, of course, Ali's army did nothing of the sort. They actually played like a bunch of lemons. And then, of course, they had that wonderful game against Holland where they only needed one more goal. Gemmell scored that brilliant goal. And then Johnny Rep 35-yarder finished it all. And this tends to be Scotland's lot in major championships. You get so close to qualifying out of the group. But I just feel that tomorrow Croatia will go, we have a chance to qualify if we can beat Scotland. And that will be their big chance.
Well, and Marx says in the chat, part of his statement, he says here, obviously, as you said, Billy Gilmore being tested positive for COVID-19. His Chelsea teammates Mason Mount and Chilwell have been told they've got to self-isolate.
Yeah, but if they have a lateral flow test tomorrow morning, mate, they
come back negative, they're fine.
Yeah. Interesting one. What four have we got rid of? Because I've been at work all day.
Danielle van der Donk from the women's team sold her to Leon. Sold her to Leon like that.
No, you can't get rid of her.
They have done.
No. She's my favourite Arsenal ladies player. She's as hot as hell. She's absolutely gorgeous. That's a downer.
Mark McGuinness.
Don't tell me Arteta had something to do with that. I'll kick his head in.
Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. Mark McGuinness, we've sold to Cardiff.
Right.
Not loan, sold him. Zach Medley's been sold to team in.
Has he?
Yeah. Sold him to some team in, I don't know where it was now, but yeah. I think is it Norway or something like that? I don't know.
Zach Medley, they've sold him.
Literally completely sold him. And some Coity, or I can't even pronounce his name now.
Jeez, I didn't think they'd get rid of Medley. There were a lot of people who spoke very highly about him.
And Steve, I'm watching both. I've got the Finland Belgium on the main screen, and I've got the other game on my phone, basically on the iPlayer.
I've got Finland Belgium on. Tottenham, the 100
bid, yeah.
The £100 million bid. I'm sorry, there's no way Levy's letting him go for that. It's an absolute joke. Not happening.
For me, what was it? Me and the Arsenal Misfit and a few others in the chat earlier in the previous stream were saying, based on his performances for the last two games for England, I wouldn't even pay 25 million for him, let alone 100 million.
No, you're not. I mean, Levy's not going to let him go for 100 million. That's a testing the water bid.
Yeah,
that's a testing. That's putting it out in the media. And saying,
everyone aware that their intention.
Yeah, we're not going to go more than 100 million, and Levy won't care about that because if there's one thing Levy does do, is he plays hardball, very very solid. I mean, and Manchester United, you have to love them, don't you? You have to love them.
I apologise. Apparently, it was some team in Belgium. Says Mark.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the team where the team was from. It's some random team I've never even heard of.
See, there was another youngster who had the makings of some ability, but you're not going to get a game at Arsenal, are you? When you look at the centre backs he has, and the centre backs he's thrown out on loan that he doesn't want anywhere near the club, and the ones he keeps playing, you just go, what are the chances? What are the odds of Zach Medley even getting on the bench one day, even in a League Cup?
think this is what naffed me off. It's naffed me off today with this news. Obviously, it was Zach Medley first late last night.
Yeah, they're all youngsters, aren't
Guinness. For years and years, we've been saying we haven't had any since Tony Adams. Really, we haven't really had a top centre back come through the ranks of that ilk. These two lads had the potential to be them that break that curse, and they've not even been given a chance.
No. I mean, you play them, don't you?
Yeah, we probably exactly you would. And we probably sold them for peanuts as well, probably.
Yeah. Well, you probably find Medley went for something like 400,000 or something. But here's the thing that I can't fathom, and I've got to say that the thing that I heard in the chat the other day with the Sancho bid, if somebody turns around and says this is the same thing, isn't it, with Harry Kane? Is it done the same as the Sancho bid? Manchester City have basically, Levy's turned around and said somewhere in the region of 130, 40 million. Man City are going, here's 100 million plus add-on. He's literally like going in a local shop and offering 80 pence for a bag of sweets that costs £1. Oh, I'm short of the other 20p. Can I give it to you next month?
And quickly, the Arsenal Misfits asking, how do you think Kane will react if he's still at Tottenham in September? I'll let you answer that first.
I think you'll be professional. I know that people will go
at the same time.
Yeah, he will be, but I think Kane will realistically go, maybe I'm not going anywhere this summer, but I'm going somewhere. It's a hard one, isn't it? I mean, I think Kane will just keep playing. I really do. I think
Tottenham got more pressing issues, like sorting out a manager, trying to find someone else.
Exactly that. And really, I think what Levy's actually trying to do is he's waiting, and he's trying to get somebody of a big enough ilk or a good enough ilk that can make Kane stay give it a year. Man City don't come in with the right amount of money. Levy turns around and goes, suddenly pulls a rabbit out of a hat. I don't know, maybe Pochettino or someone comes back. Suddenly Kane is all enthused at working with his manager and says, I'll give it a year and see how I feel. But all the cards are in Levy's court because Kane signed a fairly long contract. Long in terms of,
Yeah.
It's a 3-year contract, I believe, isn't it? So, he's got at least a year of.
I think we lost Warren. A second.
But I think with that, Kane is going to, he's going to want to move. Of course he is. Goal. Oh, no. Cleared off the line. Kane's obviously going to want his move. He might well want to go to PSG with Pochettino. He's certainly not ruled that out, has he?
No, this is what I said when he first came out and said he got basically come and get me. Wait till he comes back. I'll get myself a drink as well. I think we've lost a Warren. We're Warren down. Oh, you've got to laugh. This bit. One sec. Wait, if he comes back up on the screen in the backstage, I'll put him back in. I thought the fired one was the guy that was to make Kane want to stay. Exactly. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, here we go. You back now?
There we go. Yeah. It looks like I'm back now. I was talking away there, and everybody was frozen. He might not want to. He might not want to stay, and you might well be right there, Gary. He might, but I don't think he'll. I think he's professional enough not to down tools. At the end of the day, as much as we go, we didn't mean that. He's England captain. He's a role model. He will want to set the right example. He won't want to be seen as the bad guy who down to, do a Pierre Van Hooijdonk force a move through. I think you'll do a Van Dijk. I think you'll go, okay, when Van Dijk wanted his move to Liverpool, but Van Dijk behaved himself and he just kept playing. And I think you'll do the same thing.
No, what was I going to say now? I was even saying earlier, though, that with Kane, though, does he? For me, he doesn't really fit the Pep Guardiola philosophy, though, does he? He doesn't. He just seems like they're just throwing money to stop teams around him from strengthening and buying them themselves.
I think that's just an absolute fop. I really do. I think they'll get Kane to play in the 9, in a false 9, and then he'll play in the false 9, dropping deep, making passes in behind for people to run onto. That'll be it. I still do not understand, and will never understand, why Manchester City sold Leroy Sané. I'd have him like a shot. I really would. I don't know about you, but if somebody turned around and said Leroy Sané is available and he wants to come to you, wow.
They break their hand off, basically, yeah.
Hiya, Stefan. Hiya, hi. Have we got a Finland chap in the chat?
Seems like it both on Facebook, but looks like
Yeah.
Oh,
excellent. Good luck to you. I think you've had a fantastic tournament getting there. It's still taken you 80 years to get there. Brilliant.
Mark saying he's just seen on the web, City are prepared to throw in Sterling, Laporte, and Jesus into the.
They won't get rid of. No, they won't get rid of Laporte.
They won't. They won't. Sterling and Jesus, I can see. Laporte, they won't, because it was Laporte strengthening the rival.
I think somebody's having you on there, mate. I couldn't see that would be the case, mate. I could see Jesus, and I could see maybe Sterling, because I honestly think that Guardiola's starting to fall out of love with him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sterling for me is a bust at international level.
Yeah.
Excellent player at club level for his club, but he's a bust at international level. There's no question he's a bust at international level.
Oh, dear.
Anybody thinks Sterling is our best bet out there instead of a Jadon Sancho or, Mount, or instead of Foden cutting in from the right on his left foot, I think has a serious problem with understanding football.
Yeah, well, Mark's saying as well, he's seen it. It's apparently on the Talk Sport website. What he's talking about. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's Talk Sport shite. That one, that particular. Like Stefan says, it could well be, mate. But I think there's a couple of good Tottenham websites. And I go on sometimes for the guy who does all the transfer news, and he it seems to have an inside nod of the proceedings. And he's saying that Kane is very much along the idea of wanting to go to PSG. The two things with City, that's not enough money, and I don't think he'd be a good fit. And I don't think Kane thinks he's a good fit either. Let's see.
Oh dear. Apparently Denmark nearly scored as well, apparently. Oh my days. Yeah.
Well, I've got Denmark down to do Russia simply because that W, if he's playing again, he's another 4 years old. He's a couple of years older, and he was. Shall we say, Russia just don't have anything up top, do they? They're abysmal up top. Yeah,
I think just 2 minutes so you get yourself a drink quickly, because I'll keep you fucking yawning.
Yeah, not a problem, mate. I think Kane, I don't know about what everybody thinks in the chat. Levy will be, as you say, Levy will be happy. I don't think that. Anybody who thinks that Kane, you can always tell an unhappy striker because he starts to drop deep looking for the ball. When he makes a run and he makes a run and the ball doesn't arrive. Now, there's only two reasons they drop deep. Is because one, they're not seeing enough of the ball, or they're being asked to. Kane is getting, people can have a go at Kane, but he's not getting any service. And the problem was, I don't know whether anybody watches the overall match picture, from the ceiling. And when they played up against Scotland, they were putting 4 men up top. So you had 2 guys playing out wide. You had Kane and you had whoever in the middle. But the 4 were right up against the Scotland back 4. So it left absolutely nobody, because Phillips couldn't get in that hole in between the midfield and the defence. So they were trying to play 30, 40-yard passes into 4 guys up top, and it just didn't work, because Gilmore and McGinn just didn't allow England any quick build-up whatsoever. So when they couldn't build up quick, and they had to play in front of Scotland, and you saw what happened when we tried to play in front of Scotland. The passing was laborious. Nobody was making any runs. Stefan's absolutely right. Honestly, anybody who thinks that Southgate is a good manager, what he is, he reminds me. I'm old enough to remember this, and some people in the chat may not. Some may be old enough to remember it. Brian Clough was probably the best at his peak. Was probably the best England manager that we never had. And they were frightened of actually appointing, but what they did appoint was a real nice yes man after Reilly. They appointed, we had Ron Greenwood, who was, it just wasn't what you wanted. There were 1 or 2 players, 1 or 2 managers that England had when other good managers were available in their prime, and it's about the right fit for them. It's nothing to do with whether they're a good manager. It's a PR exercise. You've got to be good at your PR as well to get in there. You know what I mean? If you're not good at your PR, you're not going there. And Southgate fits everything they want. He's a mediocre manager. He's never going to make any waves. He's always going to do what they want him to do. He handles himself pretty well in the press. And sorry, he's saying, do you think Kane's best days are behind him, or he's got more to offer if he's got another club? I think he's a different player now since his injury. It's a great question. I think he's a different player since his injury. I think he's lost half a yard, and he was never lightning quick. But he's lost that ability to drift out wide and cut in and take a shot like he used to. Now he tends to be more of a linking player, and I think he's a more rounded player. He doesn't get as many chances as he did when he was out and out runner, but he can't stretch teams anymore. So they've got to look for other runners to do it. So my thought is Kane will be an extremely effective player by going to another club. I think he'll be marvellous if he's surrounded by really good players. I don't think he's going to be the goal machine that he used to be. I think he's cleverer in his movement and where he drops in, and he understands the game better, and he can put the ball around the corner better than he used to. But he's not going to be that out-and-out goal machine that cuts in and smashes one in the far corner. I think he's lost half a yard of pace, and that doesn't allow him to do that anymore. So, yes, I think would be better at another club, but I don't think he's the player he was. And he's, 27, 28 now. This is his last big move, so he's got to get this one right for his own happiness, I think, if that answers the question. That's me, anyway. Stefan's put in about Tayyip. Oh, sorry, Tayyip, that was a great question, mate. Clough refused to sign the programme. Yeah, it can be a bit like that. Stefan about him being a yes man. Yes, he is. And the thing is, as long as he is, I mean, everybody's got him down as a darling, or a lot of people got him down as a darling. But you just have to look at his management record. He didn't pull up any trees. He really didn't. And he hasn't pulled up any trees at international football. When you look at the World Cup, we got to a semi-final. Yeah, we got, no question about it. We didn't have a tough group at all. Not a tough group. We very, very nearly went out to Colombia and should have done during extra time. We were hanging on by a thread and then got through on penalty. We were not a good side in that game at all. We were lucky to get through it, and then we got done by a very smart and savvy Croatia side because he got the tactics wrong. So that should tell you everything. When you look what he did at club football, international football, if I was a player, I'd be looking for something better than him. Gaz, when you put Waze Kane worth over 100 million, I'd say that's probably the growing. I don't think he's as good as he was, mate. I don't know what you think. I think he's a different type of striker now. I think he'll never be the goal machine that he once was, but he's still obviously a very intelligent and decent player. 100 million at this moment in time, from what I've seen from Kane in the last 6 months, I wouldn't be paying that for it. And I know people will go, "Oh yeah, but he's." Yes, Chiesa, I think he's somebody I've always liked, and I've always wondered why he didn't start. I thought his father was a hell of a player, and when I first saw him as a 17-year-old, I thought he looks a bit of a chip off the old block. Very, very, very good player, and I would take him, or I would take that Doku who's now playing for Belgium. I've always rated him very highly ever since I saw him as a kid, because I do watch a hell of a lot of, I'm afraid, of really boring but very instructive football from other countries. I watch the Dutch league, I watch the Belgian league, and there are some great young players out there. There's a lad called Bawadu who's a striker who I like very much, who looks a real talent. Kanate, I identified him about 4 or 5 years ago. Upamecano, who I identified a while back. Zagadou. There's a Portuguese lad called Florentino. Ikone, centre attacking midfield. There's a lad called Ihattaren, who I think is going to be a really good. I think Fati at Barcelona in the right club would be a hell of a player. I also think they've got some very. Puig is very good there. I do like some of the younger players that you're seeing through. I've always been banging on about. Oh, how did Lukaku miss that? I've always been banging on about Declan Rice. So I would have got him for. I think he's, say what you like. I've seen him boss the whole West Ham team about, and I think he'd be brilliant for Arsenal. And there are other people as well. Sandro Tonali of Brescia, very, very fine player. So I think there's plenty of good ones out there. There's plenty of good ones out there. I think there's tons of young talent out there. Camavinga, I like. He's very progressive when he gets the ball. Renato Sanchez has certainly come on leaps and bounds from where he was at Swansea and made an absolute pig's ear of it. But again, he had to have a manager that understood him and trusted in him and wanted him, and gave him the right position to play in to get the best out of him. I think when he went to Swansea, it wasn't great, was it? But I think when you look at Arsenal's lineup, when you look at the squad we have, he seems to, he's letting youngsters go that might progress. I think when you look at some of the players we're being linked with, I'm like, my God, I think we are honestly, we're buying in Aldi. I want to see us buying in Marks and Sparks, and we're or Waitrose, and I think we're not even shopping at Tesco's and Sainsbury's anymore. We're going to Aldi.
Whilst I've been away, literally some kind of stairs, Denmark have scored apparently. Everything okay there?
Greeny, if that's true, yeah, absolutely fine. Greeny, if that's true, I would be amazed at that, mate. But since it's come from him, he's normally a good source.
What's it?
Obviously, financial fair play. Then it must be, Greeny. That's all I can think, that they're going to offer those 3 players to offload some of their wage bill, because they wouldn't be able to buy Kane just straight out. Because obviously that might tip the scales financial fair play wise. So if they get some of the big earners off the books and send them to Manchester City, that would probably help square that away somewhat.
I was saying that before, when I first a couple of minutes there, I can understand Sterling and Jesus being offered, but them sort of players, but Laporte.
Yeah, I would not
I don't get, because he's strengthening.
Yeah. Yeah, Sterling I wouldn't want. You know, he's such a bust at international level. He's never good. Sterling again. He's not a player who's ever going to progress, is he? I was banging on beforehand, about wingers. And, yeah, I was banging on about wingers, forwards that Arsenal should be looking at. You know, because I watch a lot of football abroad, and there are so many good young talents out there that we could bring to Arsenal. And the fact that I never see any of these mentioned. Because I banged on about Kanate for about 4 or 5 years before.
Yeah.
You know, he became a Liverpool player, and at 35 million, and even when he was younger, why won't we part of that conversation?
Sorry, if my phone's
Why won't we part? Why won't we part of that conversation? You know, and all you can think is, we might have been part of that conversation had they been. Yeah, no, agree, Greeny. He's very he's normally pretty spot on. So we'll have to wait and see. But I wouldn't be offering Laporte unless, of course, he's had a falling out with Guardiola, or he no longer wants to stay there, or whatever. I can't see. Here's the sticking point for me. Unless there's major wages. I can't see that any of them would want to go to Spurs. What a save that is! But I've just seen the save by the Finnish goal. But this is the lad, the guy who just took the shot. Then that's the one that I wanted instead of Pepe, Doku.
Yeah,
he's quick. You know, he likes going from the left and cutting in. I think he's got some real talent, and he's still only really young. You know,
I've seen a goal by for Denmark, an absolute pearl of a shot from outside the box in top bins as well. Number 14. Didn't catch his name.
I've not seen that.
But yeah, but Sterling itself, I told you a few times. I might upset the English contingent that is not of this mindset, but he is basically going from my own experience of Iwobi, the English Iwobi, in terms of gets the ball going forward to an extent. He looks an absolute ball of a player. He just has no end product.
Yeah, I have to
see this. Sorry, I know people will see this and go, "Oh, he's won league titles." No, he's He's a league champion because of team players around him.
Yeah, I've got to say, Taib, to answer your question, mate, what is it that I think Sterling lacks? Okay, I'll give you this. He can beat a player, and on his day, he can cause problems. But what I have to say is, he in front of goal, when he's got no time to think about it, and it's just an instinctive snapshot or whatever, 9 times out of 10, he's pretty successful. The moment he has to think about it, it's almost like we get, what do I do? And he panic kicks or panic passes. And that is, for me, at the very, very top level. I'm not talking about club level. Club level, he's perfectly fine, you know. But Sterling, with everything he has, his final pass, 1 out of 4, chooses his wrong options, and that for me is I always used to look when I was managing for a player who would select the right options more than he would select the wrong ones. For me, Sterling will select 1 out of 4 will be the right options. Yeah, 3 out of 4 chances you'll either blast one over the bar, play the wrong pass, or try and dribble past somebody or hold it up at the wrong time. His awareness and he's choosing the right options. Hope that answers your question. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get me wrong.
Green is in the chat saying, "Well, Sterling is a poor man's Walcott."
Yeah,
at least Walcott had work rate as well to his game. Walcott had more to his game than Sterling's ever had.
I mean, Sterling can be pocketed. If you see some of the best players up against him, and he goes missing.
We saw the other night in Scotland.
Yeah.
Literally run into headlights.
Yeah. You know,
I've got to admit,
I think everything.
Since Denmark have scored, they've turned the screw here.
Yeah, I went for a Denmark 3-1. Since you know everybody in the chat is making some really good points in that. You know, Sterling. Everything we've said about Sterling, everything that Sterling says, everything he does is not. You know, he just takes the wrong option, and then what he does is dribble down blind alleys.
Yeah. What
are you doing?
It's half time, by the way, in my screen. The whistle's just gone 0-0 for Finland.
Oh,
the players are literally waving to their friends and family, like smiles. For one of them is he's smiling his face.
I'm yellowing Hazard for that. That's a dreadful hide. Torben Hazard.
But, yeah, like Gary says there, Gary said, did you see the tweet of Sterling dribbling in the box and never passing and dribbling the ball out of bounds? And that basically, that's what he does.
He does.
They turn over the ball 3 or 4 touches. I saw that. What he's alluding to is literally someone was basically watching the game and they literally ran it back on live play. And they basically, he was like that. He's literally got someone recording him having a go at saying, "Sterling, pass to him. And he literally just stayed at and then runs into fucking nowhere.
Taib's right. Do you know what? If I was going to swap someone, if you're Manchester City and you really want Kane, they're off. James is saying Laporte and Bernardo Silva plus 100 million. You know what? If I was Tottenham, I'd be right cheeky and I'd go, no, I want 2 players, and I'll tell you which 2 I want. I want Laporte and Foden for Harry Kane.
And then you've got to convince them players then that they've got to go, basically. That's the thing.
Yeah. You see, now I'm not sure that they can convince Sterling and Bernardo Silva to go to Tottenham.
I think the Sterling would be no problem. Sterling, because of what he is, he was just like, okay, cool. It's lots of Bernardo Silva, the ones that have that mentality of they want to stay where they are and be the best of the best and better themselves. Yeah.
Yes, I'm fine, thanks, Wardy. Just to every single point, everybody's coming up with a point about Sterling today. You know, they're coming up with no physicality. He gets barged off the ball easy. Gary was saying about his dribbling. You know, and there you go. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons not to buy him. You know, I came up with one. People are coming up with them. You know, it's not just one thing with Sterling, is it? So there we go. You sort of look at that and go, he tends to be, I think he should have stayed where he was at Liverpool. I really do. I think he had one good season under, 1 or 2 good seasons under Guardiola, because all of a sudden, you know, he was the flavour of the month and this, that and the other. And it's you look at, but we're unbalanced with Sterling out wide. He wants to hug wide, and then he'll come in from time to time. But when he hugs wide, you can't get the fullbacks down the sides. So if you're playing a 4-2-3-1 with 2 attacking midfielders, you've got a winger out there, so that stops that fullback going down that side. So as an opposition, you know which side they're going to come down with their fullback on an overlap. If he doesn't and he hugs the touchline all the time, I think the unbalance is you. I'd much rather have Foden on the left cutting in, and I'd much rather have Mount on the right cutting in, and let's have Grealish in the middle where he's going to cause damage. where he's going to commit players, where he's going to make people come to him. And then when you get a free kick, it's central, isn't it? Instead of out in the fucking left wing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
James in the chat saying Sterling would be a similar signing to Willian. He's on the side. This is what, again, to be honest, I've never rated Sterling anyway at a top level. So when we were a few years ago, we were linked to getting him as a swap deal for Sanchez. I never wanted him. I was like, nope. That's a downgrade on what we had. And that was then.
Yes, I mean, here's a quick test for everybody. Would you want Sterling, considering the wages he is on, would you want Sterling at Arsenal? And me, I'm a no. I think he's, to be honest, I don't think he's any better than bloody Pepe. But if you take him out of that Man City side, I don't think he's any better than Pepe. Utterly frustrating. He's going to turn it on once in a while, and as you say, there are 4 or 5 question marks with Sterling. You know, but for some reason, Southgate and the media absolutely love him. Would you, if you could? Okay, so say for instance, we take Sterling out. You've got a choice of sorting the lineup out. Now you can have Foden, you can have Grealish, you can have Sancho, you can have Mount. Which 3 are you putting behind the striker to support him? And you can have Sterling. So you've got 5 players there. Which 3 are you playing? And I bet you, out of all the people, because some people go Foden, some will go Mount, some will go Sancho, some will go. I bet you Sterling comes 5th in that list of 5 players. That should tell you everything.
Yeah.
Would you have Sterling over
Mahrez?
Yes. Yep. I think Maddison is a chance, James, because Maddison is not behaving himself.
No, he's not exactly hiding it. He wants out, basically. He wants a new broadened his horizons, so we say.
Yeah.
And let's look, no matter what we are thinking as a fan base of the club and where it's going, the name Arsenal is still a big pull. If we can attract and sell the project to these incoming players, they'll come running. We're a London-based club as well.
I'm not being funny, mate.
We still win trophies.
You see, people are saying 100 million for Harry Kane, right? Me personally, I wouldn't balk. I wouldn't balk at all at paying 100 million for Grealish. I really wouldn't. I think if you had 2 centre attacking midfielders and a really potent striker, and I mean a really potent striker, just somebody who finishes, say someone like a Lukaku, who just wants to score goals, and you're going to play with 5 at the back with your 2 bombing fullbacks or whatever in Tierney or whatever. I couldn't fault getting Grealish and Emile Smith-Rowe there together as 2 attacking midfielders with 1 shit-hot striker in front of them, and then bags of pace and a couple sitting in behind them. That for me would be a dream for me to see Smith-Rowe and Grealish as 2 attacking midfielders on the centre forward. I mean, I think they would just cause absolute havoc. Absolute havoc.
And Guy's asking, Warren, how could you ask that question? Willian doesn't want to be dethroned. Worst player contract at Arsenal.
Oh, mate. I mean, Willian. If Willian came, if Willian was to stay, and we got Sterling, I'm sorry, mate. He'd find a place for Willian at right back or left back. You know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the trouble is here, Gary, is the players we're looking at. You see the players we're looking at. We're looking at such and such, 27 years of age from Atletico. We're looking at 25-year-old so-and-so or a 28-year-old forward.
Mandalay,
How is
yeah.
that progression? Where's this great reset under Arteta that we keep hearing about? He's going for second-rate players. These clubs aren't getting rid of them because they want to keep them. But if these clubs wanted to keep these players, they wouldn't be selling them for 25, 30 million at 27. They really wouldn't. You know, if, for instance, you look at Levy wants to keep Kane, right? 2,700 million. If you're that red hot, then, you know, we had a chance with Canate, you know, 40 million, yeah? 40 million, maybe 45 would have got him. Maybe you had to ask him for all sorts of things. Maybe you had to give Canate all sorts of assurances, but I don't know how we weren't part of that conversation. I mean, this is a player that you looked at 4 years ago and went, this lad really could be something. You're going to tell me that they didn't turn around and look at him? Jesus.
I don't know if you've seen this, by the way. This is the video that the Belgium, the national team, put on their national app thing. And basically, this is after their training session yesterday. On Henri's literally just fucking about. This is a free kick he took.
Yeah.
Have you seen it or not?
No, send it in. Let's see it. Send it up.
And look, he just walks off like that. He's like, yeah.
You know what they say, mate. Form is temporary, class is permanent. You know, it's but you look at the caliber of players we're going for.
Oh dear, it's frozen now.
Fine, and I said to you last season. I said to you last season that we were never going to finish we were never going to get top 4 with Arteta. And I stood by that all the way through the year. I said that we'd never get top 4 with Arteta. And I said we never will. And I feel, as every day passes, I feel more and more confident of that prediction. I really do. It just the players we're in discussions for, you know?
Yeah, so that video we just saw, Steve saying in the chat, that man is still sick of the talent, yeah? He still has it. He hasn't played in how many years?
If you've got it, you've got it. It never goes away.
Yeah, De Bruyne literally, the camera pans to De Bruyne and near the end of the video, then it's like De Bruyne's like, we've been out here for the last hour doing it, and here he comes on one shot, goal, he's embarrassing, so he's in our country, that's it, having a joke with him.
But you honestly, Ryan, if you look at are you happy with the sort of players that are being mentioned for our football club?
Honestly, no. I've been brutally honest. Like you say, we're literally stopping at Poundland most of the time. It's just like
exactly that. It's
like the little chimney bargains here and there. Like
we're not even shopping in Sainsbury's anymore, are we? We're in Aldi and Lidl. You know, okay, I appreciate we're not going to be shopping in Waitrose and Marks and Sparks, but I want to shop in there. But at least you can do is Tesco and Sainsbury's.
Yeah, and even then we're being touted to spend £50 million on Ben White at Brighton. I mean. Yeah, I've said go to
why would you do that?
Why are we overspending on players like that? No, with all due respect, if it's like 25 to 30 million, you go, okay.
Do you know what? For 50 million, mate. For 50 million, mate, I can go and get Boubacar Kamara and I can get Sandro Tonali from bloody Brescia for that. And then I've got one passing defensive centre midfielder and one shit-hot tackling centre midfielder.
Yeah.
No, or I can go and get. You know, I can go and get for 50 million. I could probably go and get a red hot young striker in that. You know, I'd quite happily take a chance on Bawadu at PSV. I mean, why are we not in a conversation for Hudson-Odoi? Everybody, it's a very, very loosely kept secret around Chelsea that Hudson-Odoi is not wanting to stay.
No.
What is wrong with possibly getting Loftus-Cheek from Chelsea and playing him alongside Emil Smith-Rowe as 2 attacking midfielders?
Yeah.
You know, They're two players that can drift past people.
Yeah.
I mean, me, if I've got 50 million, I'm going and getting Hudson-Odoi and Loftus-Cheek. I'll get Loftus-Cheek for about 12 million, or for about 10 million. I'll get Hudson-Odoi for 40.
And Steve hits it there on the idea. He said, they lost me when they started looking at Ben White for £50 million, a player we don't need. In a position we don't need. We got, well, until obviously started selling them this morning and overnight with Zach Medley and McGuinness. We've got centre backs coming out of our bloody ears.
Yeah.
So unless they're planning on selling the likes of Rob Holding, which I won't be against by the way, but selling the likes of him this summer, I don't get it.
I mean, I don't understand how we're getting rid of Guendouzi. I don't understand why Balogun hasn't got a chance in the first team to show what he can do. I don't understand. This is where Arteta and Southgate match each other perfectly. Did you hear the absolute dribble that Southgate came out with today? He came out and told everybody that the likes of Bellingham and Sancho were there for the experience. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about saying that? What, are they there for a tour of Wembley Stadium? These guys have played in Champions League games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Walk around Wembley Stadium and get a signed commemorative T-shirt and fuck off home? These guys have played in really big Champions League games. Experience my arse. And we did this with Walcott, and look what happened.
Oh, exactly. I mean, he had a little spec, but with Walcott, he had that. Obviously, we said 2006, and his spot got wasted basically because he got taken, never got played, no matter what. Even in the dead rubber game against Sweden, he never got played.
Destroy kids. He'd have no fear. You know, we chucked Rooney. We chucked Rooney in, didn't we, as a kid?
Yeah.
We chucked Gascoigne in as a young man. We chucked Owen in as a young man. You'll only know if these guys are any good, and they're not frightened of anything at that age.
No, exactly.
Billy Gilmore's a case in point. Threw him into the biggest game of his life.
Yeah, a derby as well, like local.
Right to the derby. Cream floats to the top, mate. If it's good enough, it will get there.
Exactly. It's like Finland doing the attack. Nothing's come over it, but like you said about Walcott in 2006. Obviously, from there, even though his career he got better. He became a better player and more experienced player as the years went by with Arsenal and all that. 2010 should have been in the World Cup squad. Got overpicked from Lennon, and it fucks up. I mean, the guy literally single-handedly, what was it? In that campaign, got us to that World Cup with the goals he scored in the qualifying, and then gets dropped. Yeah. Again, what's up? Because they're still a young lad. Then what was he? Because he was 16 in 2006. So
here's the thing, mate. When I heard Southgate. When I heard Southgate say that today, I honestly wanted to cry. It just broke my heart because I just thought, here we go again. And two or three really talented young kids, and they're just not going to. And he's, you know what? This wanker.
One of the best teams in Europe.
Playing the likes of Sterling.
But Sancho and Bellingham were playing for one of the best teams in Europe at Champions League level on a consistent basis. I mean, Jude Bellingham scored one of the goals of the tournament this season as well.
I mean, you just do, don't you? You look at it and you go, what is the fucking point? Honestly.
He's just talking for, if he's saying, obviously, I haven't watched it because it's can't be asked as it pisses me off. He's saying literally, they're here for the experience, not here to play. You've wasted two. Not only you're telling them they're not good enough to play now for the national team, but you've then wasted 2 England spots that you could have given to someone else with more experience, basically, like James Ward-Prowse or something. What's that sending them players?
Yep. You know, there was everything different there between, you know, when, Steve's saying that White, is probably coming because that means Saliba is gone. It's just like, you know, Saka couldn't even get off. And I just, oh man, when you hear him say that about the kids, that means that Bellingham and Sancho aren't getting more than they will. Do you know when they're going to throw them on? and this is when an England manager does this.
When a game's
I'm
dead.
going to give, I'm going to give you a scenario here. So we qualify, right? We end up getting France or Germany, and it will be when we're playing a defensive formation against France or Germany, and it'll get 15 minutes when we're either losing, or we desperately need maybe 10 minutes at the end to see if we can nick a goal before we get battered, before we get beat on penalties. And that is the thing. There's no bravery in him at all. I'll give you a for instance. If we'd have played the wonderful team that we looked like we were going to have on paper, and we fail, you go, okay, but my God, they played some good stuff, or they were really unlucky, or you can see that there's real talent for the future, real ability for the future. This is going to be great. And you look at it and you go, not doing that. He's not doing that. And we will keep. He'll keep doing what England used to do with their nailed-on favourites who were, so-called world-class, but weren't. He kept playing Rooney in tournaments when he was half fit, and nowhere near the standard that he should be. I mean, we're going to let Newcastle. We're going to give us one of their players for Willock and some money. I wouldn't be letting Willock go anywhere. Would you?
No.
I don't want another centre attacking midfielder. I've got two. If we're going to have one, I want top of the range. In other words, I want Grealish or I want Foden. If not, we've got two central attacking midfielders in Willock and Emile Smith-Rowe. We don't need any others. And people going, I want to see this person ball and that person ball. No, we've got two young talents. Develop them. When one's tired, play the other one.
Yeah, no. Hey, this is Arsenal for you. Like I said, hopefully next year or so we'll have a better owner at our helm, and that actually gives a shit and actually runs the club properly.
I've got a question for all Arsenal fans, right? If we put Saliba at the back with, say, Mari, or Gabriel or whatever, we had Tierney, we went and got a decent right back, or maybe even played Chambers there for the time being, and then we played a couple of decent, got a couple of decent centre midfielders in, and then we had the likes of Saka, Martinelli, Balogun, Emile Smith-Rowe, Willock, charging forward for us and getting games as youngsters. Would we rather have that than what we saw this year? I would.
We need to sort of project one as well.
Yeah, that's a project, mate. I'll tell you what, that's a process. That's a reason. I can get behind that. There is no fucking process to David Luiz and William. There really fucking isn't. And anybody who thinks, trusts him and goes, oh, there's a process, there fucking isn't.
That's the process thing. Well, it's a process. It's a process. He's like, what does made him? I watch and listen to certain podcasts, and like you got one of the people on there, like the co-hosts on there, going, he's my manager. I've got to give him time. He's the next Arsenal. Why? He's the next Arsenal player. He cares. No, he really fucking doesn't.
Fuck off. He was an Everton legend. He was never an Arsenal legend.
He's been found. He's inexperienced. He's been found out. What are we, the fucking?
What did we pay for Saliba? What did we pay for Saliba?
Nearly 30 million quid.
Yeah, exactly. When's he ever got a fucking game? I like Saliba. Yeah. I actually like Guendouzi. I think there was a makings of a player there. Okay. Admittedly, he made mistakes and he's got to learn stuff. But when you're young, you can learn. And I don't mind that. I don't mind Balogun, Smith-Rowe, Willock, Saka, Martinelli, learning on the job as they go. What I don't want to see Xhaka, and I don't see at all any fucking process in getting William and David Luiz. I really don't.
Steve, the Arsenal Misfit, is saying as well, the process went up in flames with the Super League. That was a process. I've said it as well. That clear as day. The way the ownership have fucking gone about things since then as well. That was their process of putting us in that position of fucking playing in a league basically where we didn't have to qualify.
I totally agree. I mean, I think we've got Willock, yes, we've got Smith Rowe, and sometimes they get clattered. But hello, breaking up. Is that me or you?
I think it's your end because you keep freezing here, and I've got full signal. My Wi-Fi. So
just in case it isn't me, I'll keep on talking.
Let us know in the chat who's the one that's actually froze. James Rowe, big up James Rowe as well. Hoping to get him on back on soon as well during these Euros and all that. So obviously, Gary saying James Rowe says it all the time. When it comes to players and transfer business, they see us all coming. Yeah, they rub their hands together and go, "How can we mug them off this time?" Because we've got an owner and a board and a setup at the club upstairs that doesn't give a shit and doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, how have we not gone for Mark Overmars, for fuck's sake, and brought him into the fold to improve us in that field that he fills up, basically? I mean, seriously, he just pisses me off because you know he's going to go to someone like fucking Premier League club like United or City or something like that. In fact, especially United or Chelsea or something like that, and improve them and do what he would have done at Arsenal. It's going to piss me off when it happens.
Hello, mate. I don't know what happened there. I think it dropped out. I think we've got quite a storm brewing here, so I think that might be the problem. But you know, I saw in the chat you were saying about Smith Rowe getting knocked over on the ball, but then again, so did Grealish. But look how many free kicks he wins you in those areas, you know. And I don't mind that. I'm desperate to see the youngsters be given a chance. If we're not going to get youngsters that are going to be given a chance and they're going to be fobbed off, sold, got rid of, I mean, I'm even more convinced how bad Arteta is. In that, if they're going to start getting rid of the kids, and they're not going to give the kids, this isn't a process to get the youngsters playing and let them get game time and play games and do well and this, that, and the other. Then what we're going to end up with is our kids slowly being eroded, wanting to go to other places to play football because they're not getting an opportunity, and we're going to end up with we've been sandbagged. We have absolutely been sandbagged because all we're going to get is has-been players who are over the hill on a ton of money, who are only coming for the money, and we're going to get second-rate nobody.
Oh, it's gone again, but is it?
250 million Arsenal have got. We want some of this. And then then very, very simply, all they're going to do, isn't it? Is, if you, I don't know, your Celta Vigo's centre midfielder, you're going to get your agent go, fucking hell, there's loads of money at Arsenal. Do us a favour, put out a tweet that my club are really, really happy. Just start the rumour, put out that my club are really, really happy, and there's no way that they would ever let me go to Arsenal. You know what I mean? And the next thing, Arsenal go, we had a look at this guy. Is he actually any good? And then Kroenke turns around and goes, there's a really good centre midfielder, and they're making, they've issued a hands-off warning. They've issued a hands-off warning. Is it somebody you'd be interested in, Mikel? And he go, oh, yeah, if he's available. The next thing you know, we parted with 45 million for an absolute dog.
There's even James saying, because obviously Aston Villa have been heavily linked. They're coming back in. They've already made one bid for Smith for £25 million. We rejected it. They apparently want to come back in with another bid, apparently.
Of course they will.
Dave says he's saying if Smith Rowe is sold, he's going to be effing fuming.
Yeah.
Trust me, you will not be the only one.
I'll tell you something now, mate, because if Grealish is going, and I reckon that's who Man City are really going to go for, here's my take on this. Man City don't want Kane. Kane's off to PSG. Man City are just giving it we've only got so much money to spend, and we're going to. So I think it might well be a red herring, and I think Man City want Grealish because I think Guardiola would want 10 technical midfielders in his team if he could get away with it. I think Grealish is off to City. I really do believe that, and I think that Smith Rowe is Grealish's replacement.
Also, Steve says
Smith Rowe and Grealish are very alike.
Yeah, he also says Arteta learned from Pep, and Pep really uses young talents like Arsenal.
Yeah,
and its youth are screwed. I mean, the thing is, Pep as well. That we're 2-0 now. Denmark have scored a second.
Told you.
What's the name? I can't remember his name now. Yeah, that's the one. Christian Poulsen, that's the one. But yeah, I mean, with Pep, he's got a backup. He's got unlimited funds, so he can afford to not play the youth and all that. Whereas Arteta doesn't have that luxury.
Yeah. See, I'd have this. I've highlighted him before. This Boubacar Kamara for Finland. He's only 20, 21, and he's got bags to him. He travels well with the ball. He tracks back well. He gets tackles in, and he's had a fair old game against Belgium.
Yeah.
Just
seeing the replay of the goal now, and what I know from the left back of Russia, passing it back to his goalkeeper, mistimed the pass, or mishit the pass basically, passed it straight to Christian's feet, an open goal, and put it in comfortably.
I mean, you look at that Boubacar Kamara. Look at the amount of leg work he's done for Finland tonight, right? 10 million. 10 million. And we've got Xhaka and Ceballos. We've been sold a bill of goods, mate. All we're going to get is donkeys. And people, every single agent. I mean, why would you turn round and say to a team or to anyone, we've got a war chest of 250 million to spend. Every donkey and his wife is going to come knocking at your door. They're going to put a thing out in the press. Harry Thompson is perfectly happy at Grimsby, and Grimsby have issued a warning to Arsenal, hands off. But in the next thing you know, fucking Cronky's fucking phoning up Arteta and going, Harry Thompson at Grimsby, any good? Well, he must be if they've issued a hands off warning. Offer 20 million for him. Let's see if we can pick him up. And Harry and his agent counting dough all the way to the bank.
Not just a tad, yeah. But it's, again, I get pissed off.
Get your mouth shut, lad. Disappear for another raw chip shops. This will.
That's another thing that pisses me off about the PR bollocks. It's the same thing as well. The £250 million war chest.
They don't
the war
have
chest
a
that
clue
Wenger
what
was
they're doing,
promised for numerous years. Emery was promised and all that. Come on, yeah. And he expects us to believe suddenly because you've got been caught your fingers in the tills, effectively with the Super League. Oh, they really mean it now. They mean business. And that's another thing that pisses me off about other fucking podcasts that buy into the bollocks.
Yeah.
Now they've been caught out, they might actually put their own money in the pocket.
That's second. Oh, great back pass. Oh, yeah, great one by the left back. Oh, the bottles are coming on. Russians are throwing the bottles again.
Yeah, because there's a majority of Russian. In fact, even though it's in Copenhagen, the game, it's obviously Russia classed as the home team. So there's more Russians in the stadium, aren't there? But I don't care. That's how fucking a class they are anyway.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, before you came out, Denmark don't deserve to go out of this tournament with no points at all. They should have won the last game, definitely. And obviously what happened in the first game didn't help things.
Oh, come on, Poogie. Unlucky Boubacar. He's not happy. But look at the pass. He started that move, Kamara.
Yeah.
He's an all-action box-to-boxer. I love him.
Belgium have been very wasteful tonight in front of goal.
Yeah, they have. But you see, you turn around and go, this about Finland, this about this team and this about this team. You look at teams like Finland, Scotland, ain't got much, but what they do, they get every ounce out of their own ability. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big, big fan of that. Look at Hungary. Didn't have an earthly, did they? Every ounce, they left everything on the pitch. You see their players at the end of it, mate. They were shattered.
And also with that, I mean, with Hungary, it's going back to that. Everyone in their fucking grandsons basically was like writing off Hungary. They'll be the whipping boys between Portugal, Germany, and France. And I mean, so far, they lost to Portugal 3-0 in the end, but that was just literally they were knackered when the first goal went in. Their heads dropped at the end there. They took the world champions all the way and came over a point. And now they're in a situation where Germany played some brilliant football last time out against Portugal, but Hungary in a position now where they can actually believe in what they're doing and do it again as Germany. And actually, if they nick a win, they finish third.
Oh, what a save that is! Wow, that goalkeeper's having an absolute blinder. He's done superbly well, the keeper. That's 2 or 3 absolutely shit-hot saves he's made. That is an absolute worldie.
I never knew this. Till this tournament, I didn't know this is Finland's first tournament either.
That's Eden Hazard.
This is their first tournament in their entire history.
No, it is Eden Hazard. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, Hazard's still got a bit. Yeah, sorry, he did look. Yeah, I was saying, Lukaku did look offside. So I'm not going to change the scoreboard just yet. Even though the flag has stayed down, VAR will obviously have to look at it themselves and make sure. You see the Hungarian Paul Scholes the other day. Ooh, that could be interesting. I think they'll give him the benefit of the doubt, won't they? I think UEFA give the benefit of the doubt, don't they? So if it kicks off again, I'll change the scoreline. As it stands, it's 1-0. Belgium, Lukaku with a goal. On mute. I forgot. What about now? Can you hear me now? Lukaku scored, or did he? Well, the ball's in the net. It's just, again, assuming you can hear me, a matter of checking. Checking. VAR checking. See, make sure it's not offside. It was close. I'll tell you. I'll give you. That's all I can say. It's very close. If it's Premier League, it will be offside. I'm actually getting pissed off at this pissing thing. Right. Can you hear me? Right. Thumbs up or thumbs down quickly. Can you hear me now? Because it went again. As I say, it went again. Oh, they've taken it off. I think they've taken it off. I think. Look, it's fucking this. Why am I getting the. Why do I get the shitty service of BBC? Every time I go to watch the game, static. Yeah, cut in and cut out. I think they disallowed a goal. Yeah, goal's been disallowed. Offside. It was close. I've got to say it was close. It could have gone either way. And now my TV wants to fucking piss me off a bit more. I don't know where Warren's gone, by the way. So if he comes back, I can put it back in the screen. I think his internet's playing up because obviously weather here in the UK, the storm is brewing. So Russell's play's gone down. Is he giving a penalty? Did a bit of a Mike Dean then, the ref though. Russell might have a penalty here. It's been given at its stand, but obviously VAR again have to make sure it's definitely a pen and all that crap. It's kicking off. But yeah, I've got to check this, surely. I've got to change. No, I don't change it. It's nil-nil. Right, was he fouled? No. Not in my eyes. No, come, he dived. That's a dive. Sorry, there's no. They're tight on top of each other. The insinuation is that the number three Denmark players pushed him to the floor, but he hasn't. He's just thrown himself to the floor and got a pen. And Schumacher's now got to a point where he's accepted it now. He's like, no, go, let's go. Look, don't get my head. I'm back off. No, go away. Telling the ref, go away. He's literally telling the ref to piss off. Well, in them words, but you know what I'm saying. He's that disappointed with the ref. He's just, look, don't care. Go away. Come on, Casper. 20 minutes go nearly. Russia's captain steps up. And he scores 2-1 to Denmark. Russia back in the game. Straight down the middle as well. Just to rub salt in the fucking wound. Well, it wasn't a pen, I'm sorry. That's fucking disgusting. That's pissed me off a bit there. It wasn't a pen. It was the softest thing in the world. Literally, the Russian player throws himself to the floor there and gets the pen. VAR didn't use common sense to fucking overrule it. Piss take. I'm genuinely getting pissed off with this fucking connection though. On my main screen, the fucking Belgium game, because it's fucking doing it again as a fucking noise. Oh, now you fucking clear up, seriously. Great, thanks. Oh dear, we'll be sorting the lights. My damn pelt, or my backlight, whatever I fucking call it, in a minute. Go on the laptop, sort that in a sec. As this all gets darker. Because the lights here don't do what them lights will fucking do. I was over there. Ball in. Tap it under the attack here. Goes again. No one there to attack it. Where the fuck was Pookie? Oh dear. How we do for fucking views then? It should be going up. Might be going in and out of the stream here. It should be going up. But it hasn't gone up for a while. As in it should be, but it hasn't yet. That makes sense. So let's have a look. Yeah, we go. It sorted itself out now. Usually we've sorted it now. Cool. That's good to know. And also, guys, if you haven't already, do smash that like button and drive them like up as well. And also share the stream around as well on all the platforms. So you can like Twitter and all that. Twitter, Discord, and this, that, and the other. Russia come back from this. I'm going to be pissed off now. Based on the fact that that penalty was not a penalty. If that makes sense. Another sub for Denmark. The first goal scorers coming off. Mikael Damsgaard and Christian Nørgaard is coming on for Denmark. Colonel saying Belgium score a perfectly good goal and it's disallowed. I give up with football. The commentator said bet top goal scores. Bet VAR at fuck up score. Yep. That's what I'm saying. I looked at it and it was literally, it looked in line to me. It was close. It could have gone in the sense of they've clearly used the bagginess of his shorts to say he was offside, but I'm sorry he wasn't. It was close. It was so minuscule. If it was offside, it was so minuscule. I admit, in the instant moment, it did look it. Like it was miles off, but he wasn't. So I'd love to know how they fucking come to that equation. I think the lines weren't thick enough. Put it that way. If you know, you know. Ball in, out for another corner. Denmark have got a corner now and literally putting pressure on the Russian goalkeeper, and now the referee's been a dickhead. We've already been a dickhead once already, so I wanted to keep it going. Oh, fucking hell. It's all pinball in the fucking box, isn't it? How have Russia come out of that? Oh, Vermaelen scored. Tommy Vermaelen, the tank, has scored for Belgium. Oh, you see, this one counts. I'm not going to say the score and just it. It did look like a legitimate goal. Thomas Vermaelen. I've got a shirt over there, actually. The Arsenal away shirt for the 10-11, I think it was. The anniversary season, basically. Oh, what a calamity from the keeper. Corner comes in, basically, and Vermaelen heads it. It hits the post and comes back and hits the keeper's palm, like his fingertips, and it goes in, and as a split reaction moment, he tries to pull it out after the gut, but he's already crossed the line. There's no way that can be ruled out. So we're going to change the scoreline. Belgium are in the lead. And as it stands, Scott, you're going to be over on the red cannon. You're going to be giving me a lot of virtual money. A big profit tonight, as it stands. If the Russians not doing it the arse and take the points off Denmark. Oh, how the Verminator. Thomas. I remember we used to call him, what was it, when he first came to us, Thomas the Tank Engine, Thomas the Terminator and all that, the Verminator, as you say, like the Verminator, Thomas the Tank Engine. The nicknames we had for him when he first came to us was, obviously we've got a word of laugh and all that, pure laughter and all that, but yeah. Yeah, he's scoring. He's got 85%, don't I? Fucking hell, one sec. Say that, he's fucking put away now, I said that. Here he is, actually, look, here he is. Still have it. Still work every now and then as well. Tommy Vermaelen. Oh dear, now I've got to put it in the back of my fucking seat. Jesus Christ. There you go. Yeah, every now and then I wear it. I like wearing the old church as well every now and then. Especially on the way back to and from gym and all that. Obviously not whilst working out, obviously be fucking sweaty as fuck otherwise. Jesus Christ. Stefan saying, what's happening? Well, Belgium have scored. It's been given his own goal, but Vermaelen basically had the last touch for Belgium. He headed the shot from the corner, hit the post, came back out, literally then brushed off the keeper's fingertips and gone in. Well, Denmark is second as it stands. On goal difference, as it stands, now Belgium as it stands, Finland are going out. Oh my God. As it stands, with Belgium scoring and Russia losing to Denmark, it's Belgium, then Denmark, then Russia, then Finland. Finland need a goal as it stands now. Oh, saying that, Pookie's it's going to be Pookie. He fucking hits it up a defender. He gets it back. His teammate hits it up a defender's head. Russia? No, Denmark have got a free kick here as well. As we speak, it's all kicking off. It's all going now. No way am I celebrating with Vermaelen. He was exactly like Song and had a joint Barca for Cat. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. That was bizarre. how that came about, obviously, we were talking about song earlier, was bizarre. But yeah, Vermaelen going to Barca when he did at that time frame was absolutely crazy. Well, 9 months later, he wins the fucking Champions League winners medal, so he can't complain, really, can he? I just loved it. Know what about? So we go back to Song. Know what I loved about Song when he left us? Obviously, Barca went on to win the league that season, the Liga title that season. Obviously, Eric Abidal was retiring and all that. So when they're going to get the trophy and all that day, obviously, was it Xavi had the ball? Puyol, obviously, whoever the captain was at the time, I think it might have been Xavi, because Puyol was gone by then. So yeah, it was Xavi and Iniesta. They've obviously gone to get the trophy first and lift it and all that as a captain. But obviously, they've been giving it. They haven't lifted it yet. They've been giving it, and you know what? Because it's sentiment and what Eric Abidal has gone through, his personal health and all that. The player went over to take it to Abidal, and then Song's there in literally the next thing going, and literally reaching out to get given, thinking he's going to get given the trophy. Denmark has scored. Get in there. Christensen has scored. It is all got literally subs. Everyone is flying down the wing now, jumping on top of him. What a goal! We'll see it now. Oh, what a hit! Finland, bye-bye. I mean, this is not good. Finland need to score to put Russia out now. Finland need a point to put Russia out on fourth and then put them into third. Out of nowhere. I said it, Denmark will win tonight, and comfortably as well. What a goal from Christensen, though. But I was watching it, literally, it's all pinball in the box. They got past, and literally one of the Danish players got it, passed it out. But in such a way, it's a slightly pushed out towards the edge of the box, and he's just come out of nowhere. First time hit, bang, from about 30 odd yards out into the straight through. Because of the way he hit it, bent. It sort of didn't go our way. Sort of bent away, so the keeper had no chance into the middle, like not top bins, but not far off it, basically. Oh, what a shot. I knew there'd be more drama in this evening's games. I'm saying this now, I'm enjoying this now. 2-0, Lukaku, Finland are out. There you go. Now Finland have got 10 minutes to score 2 goals. It's not happening. Finland have bottled it. For the first tournament, we're all giving it all their praise, but for the first tournament, and then Steve's saying it for 1 now. I'm just about to see it now. I think, oh, there's a counter attack, because I'm literally must be like 30 seconds behind you, because now it's in the counter attack. There's now 2-0 there, and it's going to be 4-1 apparently. Oh my god! What a goal! Oh dear. Do you live near Arsenal, Ryan? I live literally about, in terms of travel-wise, distance, live about an hour away travelling. Give or take, on a good day, an hour away from the Emirates and Highbury, respectively. We're going to scorelines now for both games. Give me the money, Scott. Give me the money. Also, I say, show me the coins. Literally, that's poor goalkeeping, by the way. That is near post. What about yourself, Connor? Whereabouts do you live? But yeah, as I said, about an hour's away. On a good day, travel-wise, about an hour away from the stadium. So close, but I could be closer, obviously. The best match day ever, that would be, literally, as an Arsenal fan, living on top of the bloody, on the good old days anyway, living on top of the stadium, basically. Literally, it's like, oh, don't have to worry about travelling anything today because I'm fucking there. Like, boom. I know, literally just an hour's travel, that. What about yourself? What about yourself anyway? I did ask that anyway, but still. Finland, literally, all they have to do is hold on for a point, and they would have guaranteed themselves. Oh no, no, as it stands, because of goal difference, Finland are now third. That fourth goal they've conceded, Russia has put them now bottom, so Finland are now third. On goal difference. And Batshuayi's come on, the forgotten man of Chelsea. Fucking hell. Remember all the fucking, what was it? All the fucking hoo-ha everyone made of fucking Batshuayi when he was in, where was he playing before he went to Chelsea? I can't remember who he was playing for now. But everyone was sucking him off, he's like the next best thing and all that. And then literally goes to Chelsea and flops. Was it just recently at bloody Palace again as well? The first spell did well, second spell, yeah. And Benteke's come on as well for Lukaku just now as well. Cherry's having a little chat. I can also live about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes away. I live in southeast London near Dartford. Oh, blimey, fair enough. That's not too bad actually. Depending on how you, I don't know what your travelling regime is for going to the Emirates and all that. You go to games. But in terms, I think, is it what? Oh, almost 3-0. I'm trying to think, from south east London, where that area. Once you're on the Piccadilly, it's fucking go. Well, basically, once you get the Jubilee line to Piccadilly for how many stops have to be on that the Jubilee for to Piccadilly, like Green Park. Get on the Piccadilly line at Green Park is literally like 25 minutes, isn't it? So it's must be a bit from Green Park to the Highbury and Highbury to Holloway Road or Arsenal Station or Finsbury, respectively. It's about 25 minutes on the train there. Plus, however long you're on the Jubilee line for and all that, and the bus journey, this, that, and the other. So, yeah, that's Dartford. Yeah, Dartford's a fucking, normal day's manic. Imagine what it could be on a match day with there's multiple London teams at home and all that as well. Jesus Christ. You've got fans from all the different leagues as well going fucking changing and all that crap. Back in the good old days before this COVID bollocks. Tahi saying Denmark would have beaten Finland in their first game if it wasn't for Eriksen's cardiac arrest. Possibly, but we'll never know, obviously. But there's a possibility because they were all over them at the time. Up to that point, obviously. But fucking Denmark have done Finland a favour here. Scoring that goal, as I said, scoring that fourth goal now has put Russia in fourth, and Finland have been popped up into third suddenly. That's how close it is now. That's a goal swing in it. So either Russia have to score another goal and quick, or Finland have to score. Not Finland, Belgium have to score for Russia to go back up, into third. It's that close on that side of things now. Do, 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 do. Look at the content. Nearly 10k views on that upload now. Jesus. That'd be my first. That'll literally be my first upload I've done. It hits 10k. What do you want, Brendan? Putin won't be happy if they go down. I don't think he really cares, does he? They're not hosting it, are they? Like hosting it, I mean. The irony is, obviously, the Finland-Belgium game as well is being played in Russia. So that's going to go, oh, fucking hell, that's not good. Actually, for both teams there, they're going to get targeted like you won't believe from the locals and Putin, respectively. Travel's not too bad. I enjoy we're going to watch Dartford and winning play. If I'm honest, I like the non-league football, more atmosphere. Yeah, this is the thing with Sky. What they've done over the last 3 decades now. Would obviously bring in Premier League, making this Premier League and all this bollocks, and doing what they do and the coverage they do and all that bollocks, and then BT jumping on the bandwagon. It's ruined football massively. I mean, the fact that Champions League used to be a free-to-air product first here in the UK, it would be on ITV and Sky Sports. Mainly, it was ITV, then ITV and Sky Sports, and then it was just ITV for a bit. And then BT just come along and fucked it, basically. And went, no, we want it all. We're greedy little fuckers. These literally Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Champions League Tuesday and Wednesdays on ITV used to be the fucking bomb. But now everything's literally on fucking subscription services to these different fucking channels and all that, Sky, BT and all that. It's just not that sort of buzzy anymore for these games. Because when it was free to air, you still have the match going fans that are going there, but there's more enjoyment out of it. It's not enjoyed. It's just not that enjoyment anymore. We're just treated like cattle to the fucking slaughter, basically. With all due respect. Oh, let me blew his whistle for a free kick to Finland by the looks of it. There's 3 minutes been added on in both games, by the way. And the Denmark manager is literally trying to hype up the fucking crowd. Money has ruined a lot of things, yeah, definitely. But yeah, in terms of football, it's ruined it completely. The football I grew up watching and support and loving and all that, and playing and taking part in and watching and all that, it's completely different to what it is now. Literally growing up, you'd fucking be there watching you'd be there at the mates down the local park having a kick about your mates and all that. Don't see that anymore because that's another thing that's ruined the football. The game of football itself is literally every kid now, or like the generation coming up, they don't go out and play this sport. They, in the sense of physically playing it, they just go, "Mum, Dad, buy me FIFA every fucking September or whatever it comes out," and then literally just there for fucking the next 9 months playing this game until it gets outdated. They don't even when it's fucking glorious weather and sunshine and best weather you could get in the UK. They're in their rooms, curtains closed, instead of actually physically playing the sport. So that side of things gets taken. So there's that enjoyment and that side of it being taken away as well. But in terms of the actual product of what the Premier League football is in the UK, and what's happened to the atmospheres at Champions League games and everything else, yeah, that purely down to the TV companies being greedy as always. Because like I said, BBC Champions League used to be on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and be literally a selected game on both nights, obviously on ITV1, and then literally straight afterward they go to the news, half hour later come back and they show the highlights, do full highlights both nights of all the games, including obviously the main event as well, just to to replay, basically. Whereas just now, it's just literally BT have this thing of, well, we have it. We'll show every game in the competition from the first group going all the way to the final. Again, it takes the enjoyment out because, well, full-time whistle has gone. Denmark are, as it stands, through. They are second. Well, Finland aren't going to come back from this. So Denmark are through. They've finished second in their group after literally starting the night at the bottom of the group. They've won 4-1 and put themselves on goal difference in second. Everyone's attached to their smartphones. We used to play foot in the park every weekend back in the 90s, early 2000s as well. In the early 2000s, done part of that, basically that part of that era of doing that. I understand to a point why kids don't want to go, especially in certain parts of parts of here in the UK, in like London and all that. Why there's full-time in Belgium as well when it's 2-0. But I understand why certain, especially in London, parents don't want their kids going out and all that because it's fucking. Especially nowadays, it's like you get stabbed for just saying hi to someone or shot. So I get that side of it, but it's just like when you're living in certain parts of the country where there's not where you can go out and enjoy yourselves and not worry about being attacked by kids of your same age or whatever, and you decide to sit in your room and go, you're not getting the same feel for the game like you would do if you're physically playing. If you balance it out, even if you balance it, I'm not saying never play a fucking video game as a kid. Obviously, you play. Just balance it out, get the perfect balance right. That's all. There's a way to perfectly balance it out there. And just no one's come across it. No one seems to want to come across it yet. Colonel said, I get that kids don't go out anymore, but can also put that down to what's going on in our society with drugs, gangs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can get that side of it. Them reasons behind it. But there's ways of getting around. There's ways of getting around it. I'm sure that there must be. I don't know, but you sort of get what I'm saying. Have to give Denmark top marks for their. Oh, fantastic! Absolutely amazing. I've now got to go to Scott and go, show me the money. Show me the money. That's a double. Come on. Oh dear, but it is what it is. Oh. As I said, congratulations to Belgium. They literally deserve that. They did not deserve to go out. Taking out the equation, what happened with Christian that in game and all that, they didn't deserve that. I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy for them. Yeah, and Russia are out, so that's going to go down well. Especially as I said, literally, Finland, Belgium is being played in Russia, so that's going to be fucking interesting. Oh dear, but it is what it is. Big one. Well, obviously we're going to come back for that. Literally, the only group game tomorrow, isn't it? As well. One sec. Yeah, we're coming back for the big one tomorrow. I believe it's only a group game. Groups taking part in that group showdown tomorrow. So, as I said, we will be back for that. Hopefully, Roman Tooks' internet is more than welcome to come back. So you got that. You're thinking, Bear with me a second. So yeah, so basically 8 o'clock has to be 8 o'clock kickoffs as well. So it's like the England versus Czech Republic and Scotland versus Croatia. 8 o'clock kickoffs. So we're going live about 1:45. about 15 minutes before kickoff. Go through the teams quickly, and we think it's gone off a bit of Gilmore and all that today. Any other England news we need to talk about as well. Have a bit of a laugh, basically have a bit of banter between each other throughout the whole 90 minutes and see what happens and see if Scotland can finish above England or whatever. But yeah, see. Well, basically, we're going to see tomorrow night as well in terms of Southgate's mentality. If he's not going for the win, you'll know. You will fucking know after 2 seconds. But yeah, right. I'm going to go now, anyway. Stefan, behave yourself. Read books, knowledge. Yeah. Literally, I've got fucking books coming out of my fucking ears. Ever since I was a kid, I've still got the books on when I was a kid and all that, the Arsenal books, this, that, and the other, and the annuals, and all that passed down to the next generation, the Dandy, the Beano, and all that. I've still got all that because I want to pass it down. And I'm too old for it now to fuck off. Sort of pass it down, and they sort of enjoy what them sort of things, because they're not really about now these days to that level. Got the autobiographies as well, as I said, Arsene Wenger's, Wrighty's, Parner's, Adams, Henry's up there, Alan Smith. I've even got the Dan Brown books as well. And yeah, I've got fucking shitloads of books, basically. I've got books up there, books over there, books over there. It's up, and books all the way downstairs as well. It's fucking books out of my fucking ears. But yeah, there's nothing wrong in reading either, literally. Good for you. But with that, I'm going to wrap things up now before we go into a fucking lecture about fucking reading and fucking getting out and doing some fucking physical activities and all that crap. And yeah, I will see you on the other side tomorrow. Nice and early, as I said, 15 minutes, 7:45 UK time. England versus Czech Republic, Scotland versus Croatia. Winner takes all in both games. Again, similar to what we've had tonight in terms of all 4 teams is something for them all to fight for, basically. And you know what? It's going to be one hell of a humdinger, trust me. And then 2 Englishmen and a Scotsman. What could go wrong? And we're all Arsenal fans. But still, what could go wrong? But until next time, if you're new to the channel, do subscribe, do smash the like button, and do share a link to the channel around to all your friends and your family that love not just Arsenal but football in general. And yeah, until then, until tomorrow, we'll see you again. I'm actually going to do an afternoon transfer update show tomorrow afternoon as well, so look out for that as well. Until then, as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.